Hello, my name is Brooklyn Tony, and this is the VPS kit, or Venom Pro Streamlined kit for the Venom Pro by Dart Zone. Now, this basically eliminates the top rail, gives you the ability to mount a red dot, pistol red dot, extends the front end to improve the proportions of the blaster, and gives you a toolless magnetic front battery tray that is extended. If you want to run a bigger battery, you now can. Now, of course, this red dot mount is not an RMR. This is specifically an Acro P2 style, or aim point Acro P2 style red dot mount. So it is a dovetail with a slot. I would have used an RMR mount, but RMR mount is too wide to fit on this top strap here. Thus, we use an Acro P2 red dot instead. However, I do think that this fits the proportions and the overall look of the blaster. The aesthetics with this Acro P2 red dot on top are quite nice. You can get clones of this, and this is actually a clone. This isn't a real aim point, of this optic for about $40 on AliExpress, and that is shipped to your door in the United States. So, a bit expensive, but not too bad for optics, especially something, well, this kind of beefy. Moving on, of course, to the front end, you might think that all of this coloring is done on a multi-filament printer, and technically yes, I did print all of this on my P1S. However, this is not multi-filament printing. These are separate parts. So if you actually look inside here, this is a separate part that allows you to get these holes to be different colors. This is also a separate part. This is just glued onto this front shroud here. And the only point of this is really to make the line, this top strap, flow nicely into this front shroud here, so it doesn't just cut off abruptly. Now, it uses 4 magnets on each side to hold this front end in. The muzzle is actually friction fit into this front insert, and this is actually the only multi-filament print on the blaster. If you can see the change in color here, you don't need to do this, but even if you don't have some fancy bamboo like I do, you can do this even on an Ender 3 if you know how to swap filaments mid-print. The only reason I did this is because I can change it to green so it looks a bit better. You don't need to have this front end gray, but I think it looks better in my opinion. But yeah, please print this muzzle piece in orange, because this is kind of a realistic profile. No modifications to the base blaster actually. Just have to take out some screws to pry open this top section so you can get the top Picatinny rail in and put this in here. You will have to unloop the wire connector and wire for the battery tray that's looped around this screw post, excuse me. So you have to unloop it so you get enough length so you can actually reach it from the front. But other than that, everything just screws on. It goes in place where the original parts are. Now, you might ask, why didn't I just make a longer Picatinny rail and put a Picatinny rail on the bottom or something else? And that's because, well, people already have. And I want to keep this as a sidearm. I don't want to have to mount or be able to or need to mount anything to the top or the bottom. And since this is going in a holster, I don't want it to snag. Picatinny rail has, for me at least, snagged on some of my gear occasionally. So by keeping it smooth, the top and the bottom, this actually draws really nicely out of my holster. Of course, if you don't have a red dot also, there is a model to print this top strap without the red dot. This is Nerf. You can really just aim it by seeing where the darts land. But yeah, that is the VPS kit for the Dart Zone Venom Pro. I hope you all enjoy, because I think this thing really looks sick.